Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel. So, I came across something interesting. I follow a certain person on Twitter that I'll explain in a moment, but I came across this tweet from a YouTuber. Her name is Ready to Glare. Love her so much. And she did a video about Audrey Kitching. Now, I've followed Audrey Kitching on Twitter for a while and even have her notifications on because I liked what she tweets, and I was really interested in the butterfly sanctuary that she did and things like that. I didn't often visit her website. There was something that just felt not authentic about her, but was still interesting enough for me to see what she said. I also follow another girl on Twitter who is in the spiritual realm of things. Her name is Kara Neverland, and I have notifications on for her as well. After watching Ready to Glare's video and reading this article and kind of comparing some things, I have some thoughts of my own. And this is kind of just going over the Audrey Kitching drama in general that I didn't even know existed until tonight. So the reason you have a video of just me talking and throwing screenshots up and such is because I'm sitting in bed finding out about everything that's going on with Audrey Kitching. So what's happening is Audrey Kitching is being called out for being a fraud, for her Twitter posts not being things that are actually hers and being totally plagiarized. And something that I've suspected for a little while are things not being genuine on her website. And these are things that I've noticed kind of along the way and things that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, which I'll get into as I go over this article and things that are on her site. So let's start with who Audrey Kitching is. She made a name for herself in the 2000s on MySpace, being like the scene queen. She was in this YouTube reality show called Trashy Life, which was actually really interesting to watch. And it kind of solidifies like my feelings of authenticity toward her stuff. I'm not saying that you can't go from one thing to another and totally flip your life around. But it seems like she's been a very not genuine person through all of this. Right now, according to her Twitter, which has actually recently been changed as far as the bio goes, identifies as an artist, a crystal healer, and an energy alchemist. And if you go to her Twitter, which is at Audrey Kitching, you will see all of these aesthetically pleasing images of herbal sage sticks and crystals and bracelets and jewelry and candles and all sorts of things like that. And right now, that's a really big thing. If you haven't heard of Audrey Kitching, it's not extremely surprising, but if you are in the realm of spirituality or holistic healing or magic or tarot, as most of you guys know that I am and that I do practice, then you've probably heard of who she is as far as those things go. Now, the reason that I felt like I wanted to say something about this is because last year I actually did a thing on Instagram where I outed a fairly large company about selling fake tarot cards and fake tarot decks of the Wild Unknown. And the reason I did this was because they were selling the tarot decks along with many other tarot decks on their website. The Wild Unknown was a tarot deck that I had wanted for a while. It was pretty discounted on their site, and I ordered it. I thought it was a little weird. When it came in the mail, I noticed a lot of different things about it that led me to find out that it is something that was purchased on AliExpress. Now, when you're in the realm of magic or spirituality or the universe and good intentions and things like that, that is just bad juju. So, not having a lot of followers on my Instagram account as far as that small business of mine goes, I still decided to out this company whose name was Owl's Hearth and has effectively been taken down. I'm sure they've popped up somewhere else under a different name and they're doing the same shit again. But I decided to make a video and do side-by-sides of the actual Wild Unknown tarot deck and what they sent me. And if you guys are interested in seeing that, let me know in the comments. And I can upload something about that, and maybe it will help you spot and see if you have a fake tarot deck or something along those lines, and if you've been gypped, which could have been done by the company Owl's Hearth or could have been done by AliExpress because they were selling the same sort of knockoff thing. So I did this whole video and got some backlash, but actually had 90% of the people telling me that this was amazing that I did this, and found out that they were doing this horrible thing, and tons of people found out that they did not have genuine decks and that they were gypped, and employees started coming out and telling their stories of working for this company and what they had to do, and there's a whole slew of receipts that I still have. So if you guys want to see a video on that, I can certainly do it. In the end, I ended up getting my full refund. Several other people ended up getting their full refunds. The website was taken down. I was cussed out by the company, obviously, because I ruined their whole plan and scheme. Mwahaha. And yeah, but I felt that it was for the greater good, because when you're in this realm of things and you're wanting to put good things out into the universe, and you're wanting to do things with crystals, and you're wanting to do things with candles and herbs and oils, and, you know, bring all this good karma into your life and this good juju and, you know, all of that. You don't want fake things. That's just not how this works. So the reason that the Audrey Kitching thing caught my eye was because I do follow her, and she does say interesting things, but it has now been brought to light that all of these things, maybe not all of them, but most of the things that she says on Twitter are indeed quotes from someone else. In Audrey's case, she is uploading these tweets and sending these tweets out, and not necessarily saying that they are quotes of hers, but she's not saying that they're not quotes of hers either. So she's essentially misleading her entire fan base. So I'm going to highlight some of the things in this article. It is a very long article, so if you'd like to read the whole thing, I have linked it in the description box. According to Kitching, who identifies as an artist, a crystal healer, and an energy alchemist, we are always transforming. Paths that do not align with our sole purpose are about to fall away. Oh, and we're all transitioning from 3D to 5D, no need to stop at 4. An elevated dimensional state where what we want will manifest more rapidly than ever. The effect alternates between amusing and alluring. Even if you're among those that laugh at Kitching's broadcasts, you're likely to keep scrolling through her magical promise. A note on the whole 3D to 5D thing, and the fact that I follow Karen Neverland. If you follow Audrey Kitching and Karen Neverland and turn their notifications on at the same time, your phone will absolutely blow up. And there are days where their tweets will exactly align with each other. Do I think this is because they're on the same spiritual path? No. So far, do I think that Karen is genuine? Yes. That has yet to be looked into. That is something that I will do. After all of this, do I think that Audrey is genuine? No. And when both of their tweets have popped up at the same time for me, I have always looked to Audrey as being the one who's not so genuine. So as I said before, Audrey Kitching has gotten a lot of fame through MySpace, and now she has a lot of Instagram followers, about 259,000, and on Twitter she has upwards of 155,000. She seems very untouchable in the fact that she is not personal in any way. She uploads all of these tweets that do seem quoted, and that has been verified. She's been in wellness publications. This article says Shape and Self, where she has been a trusted source for knowledge of healing crystals. After word gets out about all of these things, I doubt that that will be a thing anymore, which is probably really good, because this is not something that we want in the spiritual world and in the magic world and in the world of witches and things like that. We don't want fakeness. That's not what we're here to do. The article says, you could say Kitching has tapped into an audience that isn't short in supply. The young, the hurting, those dabbling in spirituality. Now, this is extremely true. Some people think that the audience is not very large for spirituality and holistic healing and crystals, tarot readings, etc., etc., and it is. There are a lot of people that are looking for answers, and I know that some of you will say, well, you're in the sex industry, how would you know? I've been reading tarot cards for almost 10 years now, legitimately, and a lot of my clients have been fellow sex workers, but people have also found me through Instagram. I have read for people on Periscope. There are many people that can vouch that my tarot readings are real, and that the rituals that I have done and the candle magic that I have done is very genuine. So the fact that she has amassed this following so quote unquote easily, and that she was very quote unquote look at me in her MySpace days, is not at all surprising, because there are people looking for different answers, and there is a new age wave of people that want to try something different with their life and to get different outcomes with their life and do something that may seem, a little odd to them that they haven't practiced before. Many people in this market niche or industry, if you want to call it that, know who Chani Nicholas is, know who the Hood Witch is, who is extremely popular and extremely amazing. They know who Rebecca Campbell is. There's a lot of people that do follow very popular astrologists or people that deem themselves modern witches, such as the Hood Witch, and people who are mediums, read tarot cards, so on and so forth. With Audrey, she's kind of gone through all of these phases in her life that were very look at me and very give me attention, and there was money to be made from that. And if you tap into this industry, there's a lot of money to be made from that too. For example, I have one client who will get tarot readings from me, and if I'm not available, she'll go and get a tarot reading from the next person that she sees first, and often gets ripped off. The people that do tarot readings and do magic and sell knockoff crystals and do all of these things that are not genuine, karma's a bitch and it will come and bite them in the ass eventually. And I think it's horribly wrong. And that client has come back to me and, had been in a frantic kind of rage and panic, because they said, oh, this would happen and this would happen, but they didn't clarify about this and they couldn't clarify about that. And you've been able to give me names and dates and this and that, and they couldn't do this. And there was this one girl that wanted $200 for this spiritual bath that I needed to take because there was negative energy surrounding me and blah, 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 blah. So it's very easy to take people's money in this industry because they're looking for a way to release the negativity in their life and release the drama in their life. And it seems like at this point, that's what Audrey Kitching is looking to do. Also noted on the Daily Dot and on several Twitter accounts Kitching declined the Daily Dot's request for an interview. And if you go look around on Twitter for people that have tried to ask her questions about this article or about anything else that has popped up about her, she will eventually block the person instead of addressing it. And if that doesn't scream, I'm guilty, I don't know what else does. In this article, there are several girls who have worked for and left Audrey along the way because of emotional abuse, spiritual abuse, mental abuse, being used, things not lining up, things not being true, etc. For example, if we go to her website, which is Crystal Cactus, it will say that all of her items are made in small batches and that they are handmade. Now, this is coming into question because of several of her jewelry items and, once again, from AliExpress. I personally don't believe that if you are doing something in this industry, you should charge $1 million just because you can. When you are legitimately in this industry, unless you are the busiest person in the world, I don't think that there is a reason to charge $28 for an amethyst point that could be bought from a genuine crystal dealer for half that price. Just because you have a name, in my opinion, and this goes for damn near every brand, doesn't mean that you get to charge $250 for something that isn't worth $250. It doesn't, I don't care if it's moon blessed and Reiki charged and this, that, and 16 other things and kissed by the Pope. It doesn't give you the right to upcharge it like she is doing. So, on her website, there are various things that have an outstanding price, such as one item that is being called into question, and that is the Divine Citrine Bee earrings. While they are very cute and they are very adorable, they are $64. Now, I can tell you from experience that citrine is not a cheap crystal. It is very hard to find legitimate pieces of citrine. It is especially hard to find pieces of citrine that are cut in this particular manner. Many people get citrine clusters, for example, that are not real. If you're looking at your citrine clusters right now, like, is it real? If it's extremely orange and is not yellow or yellow and close to clear, if that makes sense. Basically, if it is extremely saturated orange on the tips, it is most likely fake. There are citrine pieces that are of lower quality grade, and that is totally fine. That are darker pieces. But if you get a chunk of citrine that is extremely orange in color, it is probably not genuine. Back to the citrine bee earrings. On the website, it reads, each set of Divine Citrine Bee earrings is cleansed with sage and infused with a healing vibration. That is great. A lot of us, including myself, that make crystal jewelry for metaphysical purposes do cleanse our items with sage, or they are moon cleansed, they are charged, they are Reiki charged, they are set with an intention, they are made with an intention, etc. Carrying on, citrine carries the virtues of self-healing and inspiration. Amplifying the power of the sun, citrine is excellent for overcoming depression, fears, and phobias. Mentally, it awakens the higher mind, expanding conscious awareness and improving clarity of thought while promoting inner calm so that wisdom may emerge. I have a slight problem with the description of that, and many crystals can be interpreted in many different ways and with many different healing properties. But marketing citrine in that manner is not something that I am extremely familiar with. or that I, or a lot of other practitioners, I'll say quote unquote practitioners because you should not use crystals as your first mode of healing. This is not the properties that we normally associate with the citrine crystal. Moving on, it says 100% certified diamond cut citrine. That is extremely hard to find. 925 sterling silver, 18 karat gold plated, 4 by 7 millimeters. Okay, that is great. Should these earrings be $64? Probably not. Are they real? Probably not. And there are several reasons why. Number one, like I said, citrine is an interesting crystal to get your hands on in this fashion, as far as it being diamond cut. Also, if you go to AliExpress, they have the same exact item in their inventory. There are 2 or 3 different renditions of it and listings of it, ranging from $10 and some odd cents up to $13. I'm going to click on the Lemoon B 5 by 7 millimeter 100% natural citrine. I have not bought any of these, so I don't know if they're natural citrine or not. I am going to guess that they are not. If you zoom in on the pictures, they have the exact same amount of diamonds in the exact same amount of places, and the findings and the prongs that hold the gem in place are the exact same color. If you buy any items in bulk from AliExpress, you will get a cheaper price, which I'm assuming they have done. If you go to the AliExpress listing, it says the same exact thing, 925 sterling silver, 18 karat gold plated. The only difference is her listing states that they're 4 by 7 millimeters. AliExpress states that they're 5 by 7 millimeters. There are also items that may not be as sought after, such as the Soulmate Butterfly Brooch, which is one that I wasn't even going to look at because I didn't think that it would be on AliExpress. However, it is. As stated in the article, and I have checked on AliExpress myself, the Fairy Pearl Drop earrings are listed on AliExpress and being sold on Crystal Cactus for $48. On AliExpress, they're $3.30. The Divine Garnet earrings are $64 and are available on AliExpress for $9.49. There was also something interesting that I came across on her website once I saw the article that made me want to go back and look at her website and take another look. But being in the sex industry, we're very aware of new toys that come out, and one of the toys that have been around for a very long time that doesn't really get noticed enough are shock rubs. And they are crystal dildos, essentially. They have many different crystal shock rubs, that is their name, that come in rose quartz, that come in various different kinds of crystals that you can use for masturbation. And there is a whole entire market for sex magic and sexual healing through using crystals in this fashion, and it is totally legit, and I think that they deserve a lot more noticeability in the sex industry, and I hope that that happens because they are actually extremely amazing products. As I was scrolling through this article, there was a post that they screenshotted that said, "The Pleasure Garden, Healing and Rebalancing Through Sacred Sexuality, a project I have been working on, crystalcactus.com. It features many different crystal wands and yoni eggs that look exactly like shock rubs. Apparently, upon closer reading, people noticed that they resembled shock rubs. And Vanessa, the founder of Shock Rubs, I will not try to butcher her last name, the article says was shocked. The article says, Kitching's Crystal Cactus store has stocked Chakra products for years, and Vanessa said Kitching had placed her most recent order in August with no notice that she intended to terminate their relationship. As soon as Vanessa saw Kitching's tweet announcing the pleasure garden, she recognized the simple, tapered design of many of the yoni wands pictured as her own, one she had sketched in 2011 when she first had the idea for her company. So the top one is the Heart Original, $169. That is from Chakrub. Chakrub has been around for a very, very long time. I think I learned about them right after I started in the industry in 2011. I had no idea who Audrey Kitching was back then, and I still practiced tarot. I was still into crystals and all of that good stuff. Not to say that she wasn't there, but Chakrub's was definitely the first one to do this. The second picture is the Rose Quartz Yoni Wand for $150 via Crystal Cactus. I completely 100% believe that if they are not buying directly from Chakrubs and reselling them as their own, that is a total ripoff. The article says, while there are plenty of copycat crystal sex toy companies emerging today, Kitching could just as easily have gotten her designs from AliExpress. Vanessa asserts that several of the items available on Crystal Cactus are signature Chakrub's design. The Rose Quartz Yoni Wand that Kitching sells for $150, she said, is nearly identical to Chakrub's $169 Heart Original, so is Kitching's Divine to Chakrub's Heart Curve. Furthermore, while the sizable Chakrub's price tag comes with the assurance that his crystals are ethically and sustainably sourced, and that his products undergo rigorous quality control inspections, Kitching's goods carry a similar price tag with no such promise. I can say personally, from owning a Chakrub, that they are real. I do not own the Yoni Wand from Crystal Cactus, and I do not plan on buying one. If you own one and you have something to say about it, sound off in the comments below and let me know how you feel about it. The article goes on to say, Kitching's former relationship with Vanessa and her history as an outspoken Chakrub's customer make the choice to stock such similar items feel decidedly icky. If all the allegations against Kitching are true, what she's done is deeply insidious. Harnessing healing culture to turn a profit is one thing, but selling mass-produced goods, most likely made in unethical conditions, under the guise that they are handcrafted and contain sacred healing qualities is another. At its best, wellness culture aims to reduce harm and deliver nurturance to those who are hurting, but to seek out the most vulnerable with the understanding that they will be the easiest to bleed, whether it's for money, a rising follower count, or an online trail of personal praise, perverts this dynamic. With that being said, there are a lot of people in the healing culture that are looking to just turn a profit. And in one way, that is okay, depending on how you are going about turning your profit. If you are giving people bullshit tarot readings, that is not okay. If you are selling fake crystals, that is not okay. That is bad juju, and that will come back to bite you in the ass. Something else that makes this decidedly icky is the fact that there is almost no way Audrey could be making these herself to say that they are handmade, because they are an extremely hard thing to make, and it is very hard to shape crystals and has to be done in a very rigorous process. The fact that she's selling these imitation Chakrubs with no guarantee that they are body safe is exceedingly icky, because they are going into your body and they're meant for sexual healing. She has no idea what the hell they are made out of, where they were made, or exactly where they came from. So in a sense, when you are buying them, you have no idea what you are putting into your body. It is probably not genuine rose quartz, and you don't know if it's icky or not. And it probably is. So if you would like some sort of yoni wand or some sort of crystal to put in your cooch, I suggest going to Chakrubs. Moving on, we get into the Daily Dot talking about Kitching's former assistant, Lauren Carfagno. And Lauren goes on to state that she felt victimized. The article says what she thought would be an entree into her dream career turned out to be a nightmarish year of isolation. To sum a little bit of this up, Kitching put out that she was hiring for an assistant, and this girl, Lauren, got the job. When you go to Audrey Kitching's Twitter, it says that she is based out of Philly. When Lauren was told to report to work, it was in southern New Jersey. The article said Lauren had expected to be working out of a studio based in Philly, since many of the products sold by Crystal Cactus at the time were labeled handmade in Philadelphia. Instead, she said the Crystal Cactus studio was based out of the renovated basement of a suburban home Kitching had inherited from her grandmother. Going back to the fake yoni wands, I doubt that her basement is outfitted with the proper tools to make a yoni wand of that caliber, or to diamond cut a citrine earring to sell as handmade. Just throwing that out there. For those of you that are interested in the art of cutting crystals, and for the sake of those of you who are not, I will keep this short. Crystals are so hard that they have to be cut with diamond bits and diamond drills underwater. Otherwise, you will burn up your saw, or you will burn up your drill, and you will fracture the crystal, and it won't be usable anymore. If you'd like to know more about that process, you can look up lapidary and see how it's done. Is it easy to do it on a budget? Sort of. Is it practical and believable for a company like this? Absolutely not. Moving on, the article says, as for the energy alchemist herself, referring to Audrey Kitching, both employees said Kitching was largely absent from the workspace. She spent 85% of her time in her bed or in her bathtub, and she would text you or call you if she needed to tell you something, said Lauren. Welliver, who worked for Kitching from around 2012 to 2015, said it didn't take long for her duties to extend to personal tasks, such as scooping cat litter for Kitching. But Welliver said she wasn't put off by it because their relationship was promising. She would tell me that if I put the work into Crystal Cactus, I would be running this business with her one day, and it would be this empire. While Kitching did not do the hands-on work she claimed on the Crystal Cactus website and in interviews, Lauren said Kitching did on occasion take a pair of pliers and attach a cheap crystal pendant, which came from a bulk shipment, to one of the many chains she's purchased on AliExpress. Lauren has also shared emails with the Daily Dot that show Kitching purchased items from eBay too. She'd say, "There, you see that? Make 40 of those," said Lauren. To buy knockoff crystals and get them in bulk shipments and not buy from a trusted seller to where you know that the crystals are real is just manipulating the fan base and the people who are looking for help through spiritual and crystal healing, and that's not okay. Also, people in this industry, including myself, pride themselves on the fact that these things that we sell, which can be jewelry, which could be spell kits, candles, anything, are handmade and have intentions set by us who know what we're doing. And they're handmade with love, they're Reiki charged, moon blessed, whatever the seller decides they want to do with them. It is extremely unethical for her to say that these items are handmade and they're done this way and that way if she spends 85% of her time in her bathtub. If you are hiring employees to pump out fake products under the guise of it being crystal healing, there is probably nothing special about them other than the fact that they look pretty. For example, when I make my bracelets, or I make my crystal vials, or I make my cleansing kits, these things are cleansed under full moons or new moons. They are cleansed with sage. There is a quote-unquote prayer that is said with them, and they are made with intention, and they are made with love and not out of frustration, and somebody else doesn't make them for me to sell. If I were to hire an employee, I would want them to know the same things that I do and have the same love and adoration for the spiritual journey that a lot of people are embarking on as I do, and know how to moon bless things, and know how to say a blessing or to say a prayer, and know how to cleanse things with sage. It seems extremely simple, But if your mind is not in the right place and you don't really know what you're doing, it just doesn't mean as much. And while some people may not care, there are a lot of us who do make the items who do care. And that part means a lot to us. So the fact that they are saying she spends 85% of her time in a bathtub and is not even hands-on with these items is a smack in the face to the entire industry and to every customer she's ever had. Because her being this spiritual being of light that she says that she is, she should be handling these things hands-on so that they have her energy and what she believes in when those items come to you, and they don't. And that's not okay. Moving on in the article, Welliver, whose job included writing product descriptions on crystal cactus, said she challenged Kitching on more than one occasion regarding the false marketing on her site. Everything was cheap, bought in bulk from China, and I had a big problem with that, said Welliver. She'd want me to describe a necklace having a sterling silver chain, and then we'd get customer emails saying my chain is black and deteriorating. I'd show Audrey, and she'd say what did they expect for a $35 necklace. Personally, for a $35 necklace, I expect it to be goddamn sterling silver. Moreover, the article goes on to say that these girls were being emotionally and mentally abused, that Kitching was more and more manipulative and controlling, and pretty much treated the workers like shit. Apparently, Lauren, in the article, said I was making $12 an hour and was only being paid $100 of what she was owed here and there at a time from the PayPal balance, which apparently Audrey was spending mass amounts of, allegedly on Golden Swan faucets for her bathtub, instead of paying her employees. Another interesting thing from the article was Lauren said Kitching made her come over for empath sessions as late as 2 a.m. According to Lauren, Kitching believes she and Borns, a musician that she was apparently obsessed with, Kitching believed that she and Borns were twin flames and that Borns needed to heal himself before they could unite like a king and queen to bring this universe together. That is not how this works. Also, after a photo shoot where Kitching allegedly threw clothes at Lauren, on the car ride back, Kitching replied to Lauren and said, I know what this is. In a past life, I was a queen and you were my servant. So, you're reliving this lesson to karmically heal this wound within yourself. It's your own ego. It's not with me. Dear Lord, if this is not an abusive person, I don't know what is. When talking about past life things, that is also not how that works. Lauren goes on to say that she wanted to end her life and fortunately did not, but she did leave Kitching. The funny thing about Kitching inviting her over for empath sessions is that there are rumors and also someone named March who says, and also tweets from way back when, that Kitching does not believe in empaths and would make fun of empaths. So that's another interesting tidbit. Reading through the article, more people are mentioned, such as Starfire and also March, and it just starts to sound like Audrey is a social climber, very akin to Manny MUA. Like I said, the article is extremely long. If you would like to read the whole thing, the link is down in the description. Welliver says later in the article, everyone that comes across Audrey's path, she gets what she wants from them and then disposes of them. Further on in the article, March says, this is me. She is no empath. March claims that in their private conversations, Kitching openly mocked those who claimed to be empaths. She did not want to help anyone. She wanted money. Being an empath myself, after trying to totally deny that I was an empath, because that is a hard thing to deal with and I didn't want to, but I'm embracing it. That's a slap in the face, because empaths exist and we are extremely sensitive people, and there are a lot of things that we are able to pick up on. And to be able to say that empaths don't exist is bullshit. And the fact that she was inviting people over for empath sessions and then mocking empaths just goes to show how fake she actually is. So, in conclusion, it's interesting that I've followed her for so long and kind of had these feelings about her, especially seeing her tweets right along with Karen Neverland, whom I do believe in, and them lining up as if she was sort of copying her, talking about the 3D, 4D, 5D ascension things. It saddens me that Audrey Kitching seems to be such a terrible person, because what drew me to her were the butterfly sanctuaries that she was doing. And I thought that that was really wholesome and really nice. And to find out that she is most likely a fraud is really upsetting. But there are a lot of people that will do anything for money. So, in conclusion, I hope that my ramblings made sense. Let me know what you think about the whole thing. If you've heard of Audrey, how you feel about the spiritual community. Let me know about all of that in the comments. I will leave a link to the article, as I said before. I will also leave a link to someone better to follow on Twitter than Audrey Kitching, and that would be Karen Neverland. If you have questions about tarot readings, or you were screwed over by Audrey and you would like some insight into things, or you are interested in crystals, shameless plug, I do have a small business. I mostly make jewelry, but I also have crystals and crystal bags. If you have questions about that side of mystical things, feel free to ask them and I will get back to you. To anyone who has been a victim of Audrey's fraud, I am very sorry that you've had to go through that. And people like that make skeptics of us even more skeptical, and that sucks. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a like, subscribe. I don't normally voice my drama opinions a lot, but that was something that really struck a chord with me. So there may be more drama videos. Maybe. We'll see. If there's anything that you guys would like me to discuss, then leave that down in the comments below, and I will also leave my small business of metaphysical and healing things and such in the description, as well as places you can follow me. Thank you for dealing with my voiceover video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love and light, y'all.